Hello and welcome to another episode of the Full Force Weekly, brought to you by GeneralsJoes Reborn.com with me, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80. For today's episode, I'm joined by the awesome Patrick Notpicard Stewart. In this regular video series, we round up all the week's news in the world of G.I. Joe. What is it, Pat?
It's the Full Force Weekly.
Yes, it is. Look who's back in the mother fudging house. It's Pat. How you doing, buddy?
Doing okay. Yeah. Happy to be here. It's been a little while.
Phoebe says hi as well.
Happy as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We've already got loads of people in the conversation already, kind of moaning at how late we are. It's like a minute, guys. Come on.
Well, apparently, I was putting on my makeup.
That was a good comment.
I was done with makeup. I was still in wardrobe, is what it was.
Yeah, it was a wardrobe scenario. Honestly, it was a wardrobe malfunction, which we won't go into the details of, will we, Pat?
No.
It was hideous. I'm kidding. Matt O'Brien. Hello. Adios. Sorry, I had to do that. Baumer's in the house. He's saying, where's Pat? There's Pat. There he is. He's also saying, where's Justin?
Where is Justin?
Where is Justin?
What have you done with Justin?
Where is Justin? I think, we just got rid of him. What did I do to them? Nothing. Anyway, great to have you guys on. Hello, Ritz. Hello, Matt. Hello, RKW, everybody. Hello, Loco. Also, listen to Loco Basewalker when he says, click the like button while you wait. Although no one's waiting anymore. So, yeah, anyway. Sounds like Phoebe's really excited at the moment. Hopefully she'll calm down. Anyway, hello, Luke Poulon. Phoebe says hi as well. Oh, here we go. Right, let's move on. Let's get stuck into the news, shall we, Pat? Because we've got a lot to get through today. Right, yeah. Let's get into that first news segment.
Last weekend, well after I went live with the Full Force Weekly, on my own, our very own Patrick Stewart found another surprise redeco in and amongst the new Super 7 G.I. Joe Reaction Wave in Target. The Red Ninja, a redeco of Storm Shadow from a previous wave, found its way into the latest offering in a similar way to the Secret Service Blue Snake Eyes Indian Fun School homage Target exclusive, featuring a tan deco on the bow, arrows and quiver, a nod to the original Satan vintage figure from Argentina, and a reworking of that gorgeous Storm Shadow card art from Jason Edmiston. The figure flew under the radar, and had it not been for Pat's trip to the shops that day, we no doubt would have been pipped to the news by someone else, which is usually the case. It's crazy to think that Super 7 have managed to surprise us twice now with figures at retail, somehow avoiding leaks in a day and age where very little gets by the fandom. Well done, Super 7, well done. On top of that news, Entertainment Earth have also dropped pre-order listings for the next wave of reaction figures, as well as 2 more Troop Builder waves with multiple variants. The standard 6-figure wave will consist of Zartan, the Battle Android Trooper, Covergirl, Shipwreck, and then version 3 Cobra Commander and version 4 Snake Eyes. No specifics have been shared on what those last 2 versions refer to, but I genuinely hope we are getting the Battle Armor Cobra Commander and my favourite Paintball Snake Eyes. The Troop Builders feature 6 skin tone, hairstyle and accessory variations so far of the female Cobra Trooper and the camo green shirt. Very intriguing indeed. Expect Super 7 to drop official images of these new figures very soon.
Right then, Pat, let's start off with your little bit of undercover work for the Full Force.
Not quite undercover, just right there on the shelf.
Well, yeah, all right. Well, fair. You were doing the undercover work, but the actual work itself was out in the open. Yes, so Red Ninja. This is quite an interesting one, isn't it? And something you mentioned off camera beforehand, before we got on the actual show today, you reminded me that His Tank had actually shared a post ages ago of a leaked listing that even featured Satan at the time. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I actually realized that it was probably a smart idea for me to make my very own checklist of everything that Super 7 had released so far. And so I was going back through all of the news stories that have been around the web and noticed that His Tank actually did have a listing that was a leaked list from Target that included him in the wave, but he doesn't seem to be anywhere else. So I do think that it's a Target exclusive, much like the Fun School Snake Eyes.
It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? And like, again, the Fun School Snake Eyes thing was such a great little kind of under the radar, just appears on the shelves, and it's one of those things where I have to give Super 7 props in a day and age now, like nowadays, where pretty much everything gets leaked before it even gets to the shelves. Sometimes, in the case of Walmart, they put them on the shelves for the leak itself. So they've managed to do it, but it's interesting that we're getting these kind of like hidden, unknown figures sneaking out. And yeah, when you sent me this picture, I was like, what? And it's funny, isn't it? Because usually we're seeing other people's pictures of this stuff.
Well, yeah. So I sent you the picture of the front first because I'm in the store, and then I'm like, surely somebody else has posted a picture of this online. There's no way that I'm actually first posting a picture of something. And then I thought, well, maybe I am. So I took a picture of the back and sent it to you, and then I bought one. So it's I think it's over here, right? I think so.
Preparation, ladies and gentlemen.
Here it is. Yeah.
Lovely stuff. I would full screen you, but it would be too clunky. So you just have to be tiny.
Yeah. So I was happy to be surprised, and I kind of look at those other listings for the next wave, and am kind of wondering that among those and among the other figures that we've already gotten, what else may be a Target exclusive, because it seems to be a trend now.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I think like the pattern to look for now is what's come previously, and like maybe like a couple of waves back, and what could be re-decoed. And I think we can talk about the next lot of listings, because I mean, like, there's not much more to say about this. It's really cool. I really love the Red Ninja. I love that they've done it. One more thing I will point out is on the back, they've used like a sunbow animation cell of a Red Ninja that I'm pretty sure never appeared in the cartoon at any point, which I think is cool. Is it like have they just kind of put red on a Storm Shadow?
Yeah, it's the
there you go.
It's the same file card art as Storm Shadow.
They redecoed the file card, the animation cell, which is adorable. Cool. Nice. Yeah. They've just given him like tiny little horns, haven't they? Have they given, or is it? No, I suppose it is. Sorry, no. From where I could see it, looked like he had little horns on his head, but he doesn't.
Yeah, it's exactly the same, just recolored. But I love the fact that they did that. It kind of has a nice little what if he had appeared.
Yeah.
Kind of thing
going on. It's
on
like a retcon almost. It's like this is what would have happened getting the Red Ninjas and the Sunbow. We got loads of comments pouring in, as always. Tac Toys with Films says, afternoon, Chris and Patrick and Arnie. You mean Arnie? Hello, afternoon to you, Tac. Good morning, J-Mac. But obviously, depending on where you are in the world right now, it's going to be different times, isn't it? And also to Phoebe as well. Hi, Phoebe. They say hi. She doesn't care. Right, what else we got coming in? Ritz says, no Red Ninjas here in Nashville yet. Well, don't be too concerned, because I didn't see any of those blue Fun School Snake Eyes homages for like a while, and now that's all I see on the shelves. So they'll get there, buddy. Don't worry. Tyrone just got the blue Snake Eyes on clearance for $8. Good. Wow, already. That's impressive, actually. Good morning, everyone that's watching. Hello, thanks for all the comments. Baumer says, this is the best. Good news, good company, and good coffee. We're only providing one. Well, we're providing two of those three things, I think. Unless somehow you're in my house. No, you're not. It's all right. It's good. Baumer, how many kids are going to be able to say to their parents to buy them a Satan action figure for Christmas? Lol. Well, thankfully, it doesn't say Satan on the card, so they could probably get away with it. Unless the parents know the depths of the Argentinian Storm Shadow repaint. If they know that information, then they're welcome to tell their child no. Right, cool. Oh, Dan Klingensmith is watching, and he says, Pat's back. Could you just show us your back, Pat? There it is. Thank you.
Yeah, it's there.
And Pat's front as well, which is nice. Sammy says, hey guys, I love these surprise repaints. Everything is known so far in advance now with pre-orders, etc. It's great to have that feeling again of surprise, like when we were kids. Absolutely. This it really does have that feeling, doesn't it? I mean, how did you feel, Pat, when you saw it?
Well, like I said, I kind of thought that I must have missed something because I was looking through the rest of the wave, and actually there was a father and son there too. And as I was digging through, like he caught a glimpse of the fact that there were new figures, and I walked away with the red ninja, and then he walked over and grabbed, one of each of the wave and pulled away. So I was like, man, did I miss just looking at some of the figures? Because I wasn't going to grab every single one of them. I've not been doing that. I'm kind of in pick and choose mode because there are a lot of these figures.
How many did you work it out to the other day? Was it 73?
Yeah, I think so. Let me double check. It's either 72 or 73. I'm not sure if I have a heading on this Excel list. No, it's 73. Yeah, with the other ones that have been announced, 73 reaction figure G.I. Joe already.
Does that count the glow-in-the-dark Snake Eyes and the Blind Woodsman as 2 separate figures as well?
It does, yes.
Cool. That's impressive. That is impressive, isn't it? In what? It's been 12 minutes? And they've...
Yeah.
Yeah. Thomas Wheeler
said that they said in the first year there would be 80 some, so we're close to that already.
Yeah, we're almost there, halfway through. Thomas says, I wish these Super 7 figures weren't so pricey. I like the red ninja I'm seeing here. The price is obviously it's an issue for many people collecting these figures. But like I suppose we understand why they're at that price point for the company that Super 7 are, a much smaller company, than Hasbro, shall we say. But in any case, really loving this figure. Awesome. We also, hello, Mom. Hi, Mom. And we've got, hi, both. She's clearly stating that one of those hearts is for each of us, Pat, rather than 2 for you this time. Hi, Mom. Love you. Love to Dad, if he's watching as well. Are you guys collecting Final Faction from Dollar Tree? Were you getting any of those, Pat? Was that? I remember some of us. One of us in the chat was talking about these.
Well, Adam has mentioned them several times.
Oh, it was, wasn't it?
So that's kind of where I became aware of them. And I stopped by Dollar Tree and found the new accessory sets on Wednesday. And I haven't found the new Karn figures, but I have everything else, I think.
Cool. Awesome.
Not the vehicle, though. I haven't been buying vehicles on other toy lines, so why would I buy vehicles there? Yeah,
I draw the line on vehicles and other toy lines, says Pat.
It's $3, but no.
I haven't actually been getting these, but I haven't actually seen any yet. They look kind of cool, though. They look really nice. Matt O'Brien says, seeing Pat smile every Saturday morning makes the show worthwhile. You demand. Chris,
thanks.
You're cool too. Ha ha. I feel like you put that at the end just to rub it in my face, Matt, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Bryn says, it kills me that you posted the listings for new Super 7 figures that don't have pictures of the figures. I know, but what else am I going to post? I don't want to write a list out. I just wanted to, the quick and easy posting maneuver, Bryn. I'm just lazy like that. Will they make the Black Storm Shadow or Ninja Viper versions as well, says David Allen. I hope so. Hi, David. I do hope they do, actually. I can imagine they would. Wouldn't you think, Pat?
Actually, now that he mentions that, I think that I kind of would like to see those as maybe the next Target exclusive, assuming that Target's just going to keep doing exclusives for each wave. I mean, I say it's a trend, but it's only happened twice now.
This is the second time, and then there have been 6 waves, so they're
This is 4 Target exclusives, isn't it? Because isn't the Chrome Cover Commander and the issue number 21 Snake Eyes also Target? But they're not quite the same.
No, that felt more purposeful, if you know what I mean. Like more like marketing driven at the beginning, and you got them online as well. I remember, or I think they. I don't even think they ended up in stores. They might have done, but I don't think I saw any of them in stores.
I didn't see any of them in stores. Yeah,
so that's not to say they weren't in stores, but yes, David, I would say Ninja Coup Storm Shadow and the Teal Ninja Viper. I would be up for that. Baumer, I'm not big into Funko, but I did have to pick up the special edition Satan. Yeah, they did do one, didn't they? I think I've got that as well, actually. Same basically. Matt says, hi, Chris's mum and dad. So there you go, mum and dad. She also says, love you too. Aww. Love you, mum. What else we got going on? Okay, well, let's move on then, because we've got a little bit more to talk about. And that is these brand new listings that Entertainment Earth, well, pre-orders really, that Entertainment Earth posted, Pat. And we've got 6 kind of standard issue wave, kind of 6 in your standard wave. And that is Zartan, the Battle Android Trooper, and CoverGirl, and also Shipwreck. And then it says Cobra Commander version 3 and Snake Eyes version 4. Now, I think we can probably safe to assume that we're going to be looking at these 3 for Zartan, Bat, and CoverGirl, in like, reaction format.
Right, but well, maybe CoverGirl would have blonde hair.
Someone did mention that actually the other day, because obviously she shows up in the Sunbow
and green, so she would be in green as well, right?
Right. So she shows up in like kind of 2 looks, doesn't she, in the Sunbow cartoon? So you're absolutely right, because the precedent that they've set is that they do them kind of first, don't they? Like the first appearances first. Baroness, we saw first appearance. Snake Eyes was first appearance, etc., etc. So it's very likely that we'll get CoverGirl in that blonde hair from the cartoon. Then the other 3 caused a bit of a kerfuffle, because obviously Shipwreck, I'm pretty sure we're going to get, that sailor body with Shipwreck's head on it, and Polly and some other bits and pieces. But about Cobra Commander and Snake Eyes, Pat. Now, obviously, they don't necessarily, when they say versions in the past, it doesn't necessarily mean versions that we're aware of on like Yojo, for example, or the versions that we've kind of come accustomed to in the order they came out in A Real American Hero. It could be the version 3 of the Super 7 releases, and which is probably more than likely. So what are your guesses on Cobra Commander and Snake Eyes?
I think it could be anything. I don't think that they'll go too crazy, but I mean,
they could do, because we've already had 3 or 4 Cobra Commanders of the same body.
Yeah.
We've already had. This would be the 6th Snake Eyes they've done, and I know it's been 3 different builds so far, but like the issue 21 Target exclusive and the Sunbow version 1 kind of are similar, but they're different body builds. There's different like sculpting on each body, and then obviously the version 2, which has come out recently. And I say version 2, the visor version. So it probably won't be what we were looking at on screen here. I think I just got excited, and when I saw version 3 and version 4, that's where my mind went to. It's like Battle Armor Cobra Commander, because he's different as well, and also Snake Eyes version 4. This is what I think of when I think version 4. So, but it could be, and this might make you stand to attention when I say this. It could be a comic homage. And it could be Snake Eyes with his leather gimp suit scenario with the trench knives.
Have to downplay it a little bit, huh? Yeah, it could be, but to be honest, I don't think that it's that either. I don't know that they're going. It does feel a little bit like they're going in order, and that they're not going to be dipping that late into G.I. Joe quite yet.
Okay. Do you think it's going to be a repaint of the version 2 with the visor then? Maybe all black to match the figure?
Yeah, I have trouble thinking that it would be something like Snake Eyes in Cobra disguise. I mean, because we talked about that figure potentially coming out, but
Saturn's Band is another one, isn't it? Where he's got the kind of crazy getup.
Right. I don't think that it'll be one of those, but it could be. I mean, maybe.
Possible, isn't it?
I think that they would just call it, Snake Eyes in Cobra disguise, or in band outfit or something like that, if that's what it was.
That's actually a good point. Yeah, they would probably make that clear in the listing, wouldn't they? Yeah, you're right.
It's probably the visored Snake Eyes in black. That's what I'm going to guess.
That was where
blue.
When people were kind of commenting the other night in the Newsburst live, I was kind of like, it kind of brought me down a little bit, because I was kind of like, oh yeah, it's probably just going to be, because that Snake Eyes version 2 has just come out. It's probably just going to be a repaint of that, but in all black. Or you never know, I guess. But I'm fingers crossed. I'm just hoping for some bonkers stuff from Super 7 here. I think that's what I'm hoping for.
Same here. Same here. That's most of what I like. And even though it's not bonkers, I would say that the hint of getting CoverGirl in blonde, if that does happen, I think that that's probably the standout of this wave.
Absolutely. Cool. Okay. Well, that isn't the end of this particular segment, because we've also been given a ton of listings, which I actually missed the first time I checked the link sent by Ritz Murphy. So shout out to Ritz for giving me the heads up on these listings in the first place. Watching at the moment, I believe, as well, Ritz. So thank you very much for the assist, aka doing all the work. And I kind of like glanced over these because I saw like Trooper, and I think initially when I looked at the listings before it gets to the female troopers, there was one listing there for a combat engineer, and I'm like, oh well, the rest of them just must be old listings, and I didn't pay attention to it. Lo and behold, there are 6, count them, 6 Cobra female trooper variations. We have red hair and pink skin tone. We have medium black hair and a dark brown skin tone. We have short black hair and a dark brown skin tone. We have long blonde hair and a pink skin tone, short black hair, pink skin tone, and long black hair, dark brown skin tone. Whew. Lots of variants again, Pat. Something we've come to expect now with Super 7. Interested in any of the female troopers here? Do you think kind of Sunbow-esque, or do you think they're going to go with something else?
Oh, for sure, Sunbow-esque. That's where they have to go with it. And where I would hope that they would go with it. You know, if they're going to make troop builders, you know, Cobra troopers are definitely the troop builders to make. That to me is better than just a bazillion combat engineers. I can kind of understand why there would be a lot of Cobra troopers, because you know, having multiples of those is kind of fine. I just wish that if we were getting to 80 some figures, that there's a little more variety across it. I don't know. That's probably more to me what is more than the price, because we've talked about how these aren't exactly cheap.
Yeah.
More than the price, I think the thing that is keeping me from wanting to dive in and buy every single one is probably a function of the price and how many army builders there are. I'm not an army builder, so to see the fact that I would have to be spending so much on the line in army builders kind of makes me not a completist right off the bat.
What's 71 times 1799 plus however much the Arctic Rescue Mission set is? How much is that altogether? It must be an absolute fortune at that point. 2.7 trillion US dollars, guys. That's how much it is.
Actually, you're talking about 1350. Yeah, 1350. Yeah, $1,350 already in reaction figures.
We really shouldn't have brought that up, should we? that should not have been something we even talked about.
It's a lot, and a lot of it is army builders. That's why I'm just like, I guess I can't be a completist on these, which I would love to be able to do.
Well, speaking of army builders, Pat, there are even more. We've got 6 variants of the camo green shirt. This is an interesting one. This is one I can't quite picture at the moment. I'm wondering if it's just going to be like this guy, but with camouflage on. What do you think?
I kind of do, yeah. And honestly, the repaint of that one that I would like to see, as strange as it is the purple helmet from Deke.
Did you just what? Hang on. Did you just say purple helmet and Deke in the same? That's probably going to get banned. That's probably going to get this episode completely destroyed. Yes, camo green shirts, lots of them, 6 in actual fact. We have well, this seems to be separated in terms of accessories, doesn't it? So it's like skin tones. We have pink skin tones with an M16 and a rifle. We have and a laser rifle. And we have dark brown skin tones for the same thing: laser rifle, M16, and a regular rifle. I think that's right. Yeah.
You know, and part of me, as I was making this list, I noticed that there are some websites that only had 2 skin tones listed instead of 3. And I kind of wondered, since this was just pink and dark brown skin tones for each of the the female trooper and the green shirt if there aren't 9 instead of 6.
Could very well be. Again, it's hard at this stage. There's a lot of guesswork, isn't there? But there could very well be 9, because again, lots of precedent for that for Super 7 dropping 9 army builders like per troop builder wave. But yeah, wow, lots and lots of figures. I mean, you certainly cannot have a go at them for not producing product, can you? Like, it is churning it out. They are absolutely churning this stuff out.
Yeah, and I wonder how long they have the license, if that's part of the reason to just get through a whole bunch of stuff all at once.
Well, by the end of the year, they'll have covered every character we've ever seen, I think. Every version of that character, I would imagine, before the end of the year. If they keep pumping them out the way they are, this is definitely going to be a line you can kind of complete the actual known characters for eventually, I think.
We've got a lot of core character hump going on. It's Cobra Commander Snake Eyes, you know, hump a little bit each wave. I would like to move a little bit beyond that, but you know, there's definitely some gems throughout the whole thing.
I'm waiting for Lightfoot. Just saying. Ritz has said this is the 4th Cobra Commander in the reaction line. Thank you, Ritz. Well, when I said 3 or 4, I meant 3 or 4, including this one we were looking at. So thank you very much for clarifying that. Action Figure Expert says, well, we might not get Polly because she was not in the first episode with Shipwreck. Interesting.
That's a good point, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I kind of think we will. I just think we will. I think it's so synonymous with the character. Well, I say that Timber hasn't been with Snake Eyes yet, has he?
That is true. Polly, though, I think would be a smaller accessory to include than Timber. So I don't know. I think that if you're walking into the store and just see them on the shelf, to see Shipwreck there without Polly, it's not like somebody's going to be around with the explanation, that would make it make sense. So I think that, I don't know, it'll definitely feel absent if she's not there.
It'll be that supersized Polly that grows to a massive size, and yeah,
right.
Sammy says these all seem pretty straightforward characters. I keep hoping we'll see more off-the-wall reaction offerings like Hardmaster, Softmaster, Dr. Ven, and Bongo. Give it time, Sammy. They'll definitely be doing those. Baumer says they should do a glow-in-the-dark Zartan if they can't do color changing. That's a very good point.
Yeah,
and something cool. I think that's almost a given, isn't it? Like we called the radioactive Snake Eyes, and boom, it was the first glow-in-the-dark one.
Yeah,
it would not surprise me if they do that for Zartan. And I love the fact as well. It hasn't been missed. We've discussed it, and people are aware of it. But the fact that Excalibur glows in the dark for the ultimate Storm Shadow is just the best addition ever. I love that. Anyway, yeah, what else we got going on? David says, what reaction figures besides Snake Eyes, Cobra Commander, and Storm Shadow could they give similar treatment with variants that have been released or coming in the future? So that is a good question. Any spring to mind to you, Pat, that could get that immediate kind of variation repaint kind of
well, there's so many. We've had so many repaints throughout the O-ring line. I mean, I don't really see them doing the. Well, they could. They already did Fun School Snake Eyes. They could do European Mutt.
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be really nice. And Spirit as well.
Yeah. Well, is Spirit on the list?
No.
Well, Spirit hasn't been made yet, so. Scarlet, you could do Quarrel. That'd be a really good one.
Oh, I see. Like previous. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay.
Looking to previous releases. Actually, Action Force is such a well of things. Could also have Red Jackal.
Red Jackal. Yeah.
Yeah, Red Laser would be a really good one. Red Laser would make a good Target exclusive.
Stalker, AKA Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
SAS Stalker. Yeah. SAS, I've forgotten his name. The Wolverine driver.
Hunter.
They could do Hunter as a Cobra Trooper repaint, and then do an entire troop builder of it.
Yeah, and honestly, Fun School Major Blood with blue and yellow would be really nice.
That would be pretty fun. In fact, I could see them doing. I could see them. Yeah, Major Blood has got to happen. Has Major Blood happened already?
Yeah,
He
there's
has, hasn't he? Yeah,
reaction
of
Major
course.
Blood.
Yeah, I knew I could visualize it. Sorry, 73 releases. I've lost completely where we are. You're welcome, Ritz, for the shout out, buddy, and thank you for helping us on the listings. Really appreciate it, mate. J-Max says, cover girl is blonde and red brunette or just red hair? Well, she has blonde hair, the Mass Device, and then when it changes, it's like in the Sunbow cartoon, isn't it like a brownie red?
Yeah,
Or is it
I'm pretty
full
sure
on
that
red?
her outfit is the same outfit, but in 2 different colors. So the outfit starts off. So if I'm trying to think how this is going to translate into figures, if they end up making both of those, I would assume that the body would stay the same, but the original, the one that is the blonde hair would have a green body, and the other one would be like the figure that was released in brown and tan. But the blonde hair is long hair, and the other one is just brownish hair, I guess.
Yeah.
Like an auburn.
That auburn is the word I was looking for. Thank you. David's made a good point. I'm surprised there aren't bats troop builders for this wave. Are you surprised they didn't do troop builders for bats? But then again, you can't really do a lot of variations for that, David. That's probably why they didn't do it.
Well, I mean, some of the things that they're doing are so minor. I definitely could see them going with the silver mask from the toy and the red mask from Sunbow for sure.
Okay.
Actually, I kind of expect it to have the red mask coming out.
Oh yeah, it'll be Sunbow
because they've been leaning so much heavier into Sunbow than they have the comic book. We've gotten Twin, and maybe there's another one. Oh, the Snake Eyes issue number 21.
Yeah,
they've not done a whole lot from the comic book.
Yeah,
they could also do a damaged one.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like in terms of variants, you could probably do like like 3 damaged, 6 not undamaged, mix them up a little bit, have different accessories, that kind of thing, maybe.
And they may not have the interchangeable arms, so they could just have permanent. There's 3 or 4. Well, there's 4 of them right there, with having one have a hand and come with a rifle, and then the other 3 have, which would kind of be annoying and sad, to be honest.
Well, the funny thing is, people are going to be trying to army build these bats, aren't they? That's the funny thing about it.
Yeah.
People are going to be the bat's going to be the hardest one to get out of this
For
wave.
Sure. Yeah,
no doubt. My wallet is crying over the reveal of all the female Cobra Troopers after the reveal of all the female engineers. Even if you're just a female army builder, you are bankrupt right now because of Super 7. Baroness has 2, but wonder who else, says David Allen. Yeah, as we said, we picked a few out for you, but it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Definitely. This is an interesting one. Viper Scout said bat troop builders could all come with a different arm attachment as well. So yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
like one has the gripper, the next one has the flamethrower, the next one has the so on and so forth. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I wonder even if for their articulation, if they didn't do that, if it'd be possible to include different arms that pop in. I don't really know if they would want to work that much engineering into it, but you never know.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, again, guys, thanks for all of the comments. You're literally pouring them in at the moment. I'm trying to get to as many as possible. We've got Daniel says Cobra Commander with winter coat, maybe. That's a good shout. Obviously, a head reuse, and then, like a winter coat. Jobby. I wonder if they could. Well, the bazooka one. Does the bazooka one have a backpack on it? I think it does, doesn't it? Like molded on. I could be wrong.
I think so.
It might be removable, but that'd be cool. Adam Drake, hey buddy. Quote of the episode: "Hump, hump, hump, Pat." Dr. Mindbender would be the host of Purple Helmet. Yes, he would. Thanks for that. Actually, the quote, Adam, was not what Pat said there. He said it was about the Purple Helmet from the Deke episode. Was definitely the quote.
I think I said both already.
You did. You absolutely did. Chris, do you think that Super 7 will make a figure of Big Ben? I don't really know. Maybe when they get to the Deeks kind of era, because as we've kind of like talked about it a little bit already, it looks as though they're doing things in some sort of order, a law and order, if you will. Sorry. So then I get the feeling that we might see Deke stuff eventually when they start running out of Dumbo stuff to do. We still need our Hector Ramirez, don't we? Bloody hell, I want that so
yeah,
bad.
that'd be a great one.
I want Hector Ramirez so bad. So good. Would be cool to see a 4-pack from the Pyramid of Darkness miniseries with Snake Eyes, Timber, Shipwreck, Polly, the Blonde Singer, and Cobra Detective Scar, I believe. Yeah, effectively, Satin's band would help. Would have covered all of that for you, Matt. And yes, the Cobra Detective. Yeah, that would be actually a wicked set. Maybe with the van as well. Like how dope would that be, Pat? Seriously,
that would be pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind another set. It is surprising that we got the Sled Dog team and that they've not done another big set like that since.
Well, fingers crossed for Yojo January.
And honestly, that one kind of came as a quick surprise too, because upon announcement, how soon was it before people had them in hand?
Oh, it was like the next day. It was literally a day and a half, I think. It was so crazy. It was like we did the news burst, and then the next day, people, look, got this in hand already. I'm like, huh? So yeah, there'll probably be another situation like that, definitely. Hello, Couch Boy. Tardy to the party, you absolutely are. Jammer says Viper Scout. Good shout, Viper Scout. Absolutely. Okay, cool. Cadet Deming from There's No Place Like Springfield, Part 2 could be made from a female trooper. Thank you, Lord Tau. That's a good shout as well. Okay, cool. Right, I'm going to have to move on, guys, because we'll be here forever otherwise. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get to everybody's comments, but it is nigh on impossible. Anyway, next up then, Pat, we have our next news segment, which is in relation to mobile gaming. I hope you're ready for this one. Here we go.
Talk about your unexpected game news. Yes, mobile game app Puzzles and Survival revealed a G.I. Joe branded crossover event in the week with a very fancy trailer. The game itself is basically one of those gem puzzles where you move different colour pieces around to create multiple lines whilst interacting with a zombie storyline. It makes about as much sense as you'd imagine. The G.I. Joe aspect was added on the 6th, and it's just nice to see Joe branded stuff in a game. That's about as far as it goes.
And that's about as far as it does go. Puzzles and Survival, the name makes me laugh. Well, not makes me laugh, but like the name of that particular game, there was a magazine back in the UK, right, that I used to love. It was called Combat and Survival, and it was all about like military forces, you know, all over the world and everything. And it was really cool. I used to love it. Like little books that you get I want to say they were kind of like monthly, and then you get a binder to put them all in. It might have even been weekly, but it was amazing. I loved that. And yeah, I've still got it at home. And it just makes me think of that whenever I hear Puzzles and Survival. Now, on to the actual news at hand, Pat. Have you played this?
I actually have not. I didn't find the time. It is free to play, isn't it?
Yeah, I do actually have it, but it's, you know, it's just one of those. It's one of those games. Like, there's not much else you can really say about it. Like, you know, it's one of those ones where you're playing another game that you like, and you keep getting ads for. That's how I describe it. It's one when you get those ads come up, and you can't skip them. You have to wait until they finish. You know, the whole like selling angle. I'm really surprised actually that they're doing this G.I. Joe crossover, and also really surprised that the trailer was so magnificent.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting it to just be like one of those, you know, Tetris style gem games.
It's like Candy Crush. Yeah.
But is that why Cobra Commander's staff has a gem at the top instead of a Cobra?
Perhaps 100% yes. That is exactly why. It'd be funny if they did that with all the characters, like like Snake Eyes visor was like a ruby or something. But yeah, it like, as on this screen, you can kind of see almost like an angled viewpoint of what the game sort of is supposed to look like. with the gems at the bottom of the screen, and like, you know, your fighting forces and stuff on the top. Like it, you know, it's, what can I say other than it's a game and it's got Joe in it? Sammy Delco says, so it's Joe Tetris? Question mark. Sort of, but not even that fun. Not even that angle. Like it's weird. You just have to play it. You have to play it to understand it, unfortunately. And like I said, it's fun to see G.I. Joe represented like this. I mean, there's some beautiful visuals, and like the trailer's magnificent. These like what would you call them? Like promo images are really amazing as well. Effectively, it is just like a gem game. It's weird.
But this is just a temporary theme over the game, right? It's not like this is going to last for a long time.
No, I think it is. Yeah, it's a temporary crossover event. Yeah, and also this image made me laugh because this is a character called Scarlet in the game, but it's not actually Scarlet, R Scarlet. But there is R Scarlet is in the game as well. So just
There's
can really
another picture just like this with R Scarlet standing there, right?
Yeah, basically. It's almost like a skin for that character, I think, in a sense.
Okay.
But yeah, again, like it all looks very nice, but at the same time, like, I don't know. It's up to you guys. You can download it. Links in the description, obviously. There's not a great deal to go into here, like in terms of detail. Anything else you want to say on this, Pat, before we move on?
No, there's not a whole lot here to say. Maybe I should actually play it.
I will say though that I absolutely love the images. The visuals are gorgeous. Like it's
they did
really
nice
cool.
job with the visuals.
Look at this as well, like them kind of coming into this like para dropping into this Cobra. It looks like some sort of, I think it's a building, like an oil rig maybe, or maybe just like a building that's got scaffolding around it, and you've got like them parachuting in, and like the clouds have opened up around it. I just think there's some beautiful stuff going on. But yeah, like not much other than that in terms of the substance. And I will say as well, I will add that there are kind of, between the kind of games of the puzzles you're doing, there are kind of cutscenes. So there will be like, there is some sort of like animated stuff, but it's all very, I wouldn't say basic because it's actually, again, it looks nice, but it's not what you expect. Just play it. Just play it. Links in the description in both iOS and Android phones and devices, I should say. Let's move on then, Pat, to the next news item, and that was in Hasbro Interviews news.
My goodness, we had a lot of content this week, didn't we? The awesome folks at Hasbro allowed us to chat with G.I. Joe brand team members Emily Bader and Lenny Panzica not once, but twice last week, and you lucky lot got 2 extra long interviews to get stuck into. We dropped the roundtable Q&A featuring a select group of podcasters, YouTubers, websites, bloggers and GI journalists asking the questions about the specifics of non-plastic packaging, repaints, shipping delays and possible classified HasLabs, and then followed that up with a special one-on-2 interview where we got deep into the character designs and whatever else hadn't been covered on the last one. Massive thank you to Hasbro, Emily and Lenny. You can check both of those out on our channel, links in the description.
Yeah, big thank you to Hasbro, Lenny and Emily for giving up their time, not once, but twice, to talk, well, to all of us in the roundtable. There was a whole host of amazing people involved. Adventures in Collecting, His Tank, Toy Wizards, all of the different insiders, so Pop, Toy, Action Figure, etc., etc. Yeah, it was brilliant. And for any that I missed out, sorry guys, but it was great. It was a really interesting Q&A, and also what I thought was really great was that we recorded the entire thing, and none of it was taken out. Like everything that you saw there was no like, oh, we wanted to ask this question or this question, and they said no. They were so open and they were so like, this is the deal. And I thought it was really cool. Pat, did you get a chance to see the roundtable by any chance?
I did watch the roundtable. I didn't watch yet the other Q&A because, to be honest, I thought that it was the same video when I glanced across it. I didn't realize that they had given that much time. That was awesome of them to do that.
It was great. Lenny and Emily did sit down, for the redacted interview. Again, both these are in the links in the description if you want to check them out if you haven't already. Obviously, in the roundtable, like I said, it was more about the broad strokes. It was things like non-plastic packaging, possible classified HasLabs, which they haven't, you know, they were hinting quite heavily at expecting at some point. What was the other stuff? There was loads. The repaints and what goes into the actual production, like, and what they have to think about logistically, which I thought was really interesting. Like, it's not one of those things where it's just like, well, we'll repaint that figure, bosh, boom, out it goes. There's lots of other things to consider within the factory logistics. And if they're utilizing parts from different figures, it means utilizing molds that might already be in use elsewhere with another figure that they're reusing parts from. So you end up with this logistical schematic nightmare, basically, which they kind of went into some detail about, which I thought was really great to kind of, you know, see how the sausage gets made, as it were, in that sense. And yeah, it was really cool. Again, loads of open responses to all of the things. You know, obviously their regret and I suppose what's the word, like frustration at the shipping scenario. You know, they're struggling to get this stuff out, and it, you know, we showed that ridiculous shipping image, didn't we, not too long ago, that you described as someone that spilt a bowl of fruity pebbles all over the floor. But I mean, yeah,
for fruity pebbles again.
Fruity. It's like a game of hungry hippos around China, and no one's winning.
Well, that would be helpful if it was.
It would be, wouldn't it? But yeah, the hippos aren't working. Yeah, it was cool. Appreciate all the comments as well, guys. Thank you very much. Oh, this is interesting. Let's have some of these. Let's have a look at some of these comments for this particular aspect. Viper Scout said Lenny had a rhino in his background. That's my favorite newer Joe vehicle. Yeah, he had that. I will also say he had a Sky Striker in the background as well. Also, one thing I will point out, and again, this is purely speculative, and I did mention this on the Newsburst Live, Pat, but was there did you pick up on anything in the roundtable that made you go, There
was a lot of information in there. I'm not sure what you're referring to.
I'll tell you what I'm referring to. At one point, he's talking about like doing like design of figures or like the articulation or something, and he picks a figure up on his desk and he holds it up as he's using it as an example, and it's Python Patrol Copperhead. And like one thing that sparked in me and a lot of other people that I discussed it with was that there's only one reason why you have specific figures at arm's length as a designer. It's when you're referencing them, and it's when you're like designing them.
You're talking, he had the O-ring Python
Yes,
Patrol,
the O-ring Python Patrol. Yeah. And not just that, but in the interview you haven't seen, in the redacted interview, Lenny mentions Copperhead by name when discussing helmets. So I don't know. I'm just thinking maybe like a subconscious reveal at this point, because it would make sense, wouldn't it? Copperhead, Python Patrol, yada yada yada.
Yeah, Copperhead would be a good one to do, because he's got that bulk to him that they could use a lot of the same parts from Roadblock, I think.
Absolutely. You kind of see him as a pretty hench dude as well, don't you? That's the thing. RKW1138 says, I wonder if the Sky Striker HasLab will change its O-ring packaging. That is no, actually, I think they did state that everything that they've got going on at the moment will remain like, you know, as you expect it to be. And it's only after a certain stuff that isn't in production yet or is in a certain state of production will get that packaging. I think, and this is me just speculating at the moment, but I've got a feeling that the Sky Striker HasLab will probably remain as it was intended to go out in the first place. That's my hunch. So all those figures that you saw will probably be on those standard card backs with the plastic bubble on them. And I think everything beyond HasLab, beyond what we've been shown off and what's been on pre-order and so on and so forth, I think all of that is probably going to be changed. So, after that, everything is going to go back to that new packaging. That's what I think, and that's what I think they were trying to get at as well.
Yeah, I think they kind of even say, you know, things coming through the pipeline, and I kind of do view it as that. You know, the factories and everything, they're still capable of making the plastic packaging. So I think it's probably a matter of what they've ordered and what is in the, like, if you imagine it as a pipeline of how they say, hey, this is how this one needs to be done. I don't think that they're going back and altering plans for packaging. It was just probably okay, from this point forward, what we plan on doing.
Yeah, totally. Ryan, second interview had more info about the line. Great job, Chris. Thank you very much. If you say nice things about me directly, they will get put on the screen. Baumer says, agreed. Roundtable was awesome and very thankful for them explaining the delay due to figure parts. Awesome. I hope the TF Duke and Ram come with a plastic window, says Ritz Murphy. It's possible. It's possible that was in production prior. I think a lot of it we're probably going to see next year in terms of the non-plastic stuff, apart from the Viper 3 pack, which they obviously had an idea to do from the off. Both great interviews, says Jeremy. Thank you very much. Matt says, finally, some transparency from some Hasbro employees. I hope they don't get in trouble for it, but I'm glad we got some of that info. It was all allowed. So don't worry about that, Matthew. No one's in trouble for anything. What I would laugh at, though, is Lenny showing off the weapons crate ammunition box and showing the number and then going, I better hide that. And they just said, don't worry, you can keep it in. It's not a problem. So, and plus the names on it on the front as well, which is even more hilarious. So he's hiding the number and showing like the name at the front of it. It's absolute genius. Anyway, what else we got going on? Sammy says, Emily and Lenny are so great together in interviews, presentations. They should hold seminars for some of the other Hasbro brand teams. There's a shots fired from Sammy to the other brand teams.
I think they do really well. We're kind of lucky to have them on G.I. Joe.
Absolutely. I mean, like the passion, the enthusiasm, the energy, the entertainment I get from them is great. Like, I never get bored watching them enjoy, and they're having fun and they're having a blast. And Emily even said that they don't even write a script for it; they just wing it, which is even better. That blows my mind, actually. Couchboy says, when they showed foot boxes, the foot locker boxes, I was a little bit sad, man. I just got Mego Snake and Storm Shadow 2-pack. Thin cardboard has me afraid this with cheap, thin weapon box, and that's classified as future. Anyone else? Well, the weapons box is only like an interior aspect, isn't it? And obviously you can put it out on display if you want, but it's not necessarily something you have to keep opening and closing all the time. Like you could use them as display pieces, which is what my intention is going to be. And maybe store stuff in there that you're not going to use ever. That's basically what I'm going to do personally. I think it's like a nice little additional aspect and it adds value, but it's one of those things that I don't think you necessarily need to worry about, I'd say. What about you, Pat?
I kind of think it's nice because one of the topics that comes up a lot of times with other collectors is how many accessories a figure should come with. Should a figure only include an amount of accessories that you can put on the figure? Because some people get frustrated whenever they're displaying things and they go to display it and then they realize they have 2 extra hands, an extra head, and three more guns or something that they just can't put on all at once. Yeah. And now they have to put them somewhere else. And then if they go to sell the thing, those parts are missing. I think that it's just going to make it very easy to include some extra parts, because personally I like to have those extra pieces to have options in the package, especially a second head. I think is a good thing to have in there. And then if you have the locker, you could just kind of toss things in there. Although it's weird if a character has his own head in his locker.
Amazing. Viper Scout has confirmed they did say Zorana Wave was last with plastic packaging. Cool. So yeah, kind of to what I was saying about what's been shown, I guess, or what's been shown off packaging wise. The Hasbro classified team is amazing, says Matt O'Brien. Love Emily, Lenny, Corey, Tony, Chris, and all the toy photographers they are using. I think it's a great team to have at the moment, honestly, on the brand. And it's nice that they're also like all really into it as well, by the looks of things. Like everyone's really into what they're doing, and they look like they're having fun with it. That always helps massively. Peppermint oil capsule. Can you hear Phoebe in the background barking every 5 minutes? Is that why the little puppy head's on there? Because I can hear her all the time. We need a G.I. Joe mobile game where Shipwreck is trying to get classified figures across the ocean to America. That would be the most frustrating game ever, because you'd just be in one spot for like months. And then all of a sudden it'd be like you get a notification. A route has opened up. Boom, you're on it. And then it's done. Like 3 months, you got to wait for it to do the route.
Well, right at the end, Polly would be the one that manages to make it happen, right?
Yeah, every time. Like he's asleep at the wheel. She has to like, steer it for him. That's what happens. Yes, Viper Scout, I know he was talking about Copperhead's helmet in relation to Crimson Guard, but that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the whole point that he had Copperhead at hand in his reach and Copperhead just talking about the helmet in relation to the Crimson Guard. It's very, when you think about it, it's the only, like, designers will only have that information at hand because they're working on a figure. So that's what I'm getting at. And Fritz Murphy says, yeah, PP Copperhead is being made for sure. Lenny is on it. It's funny when people say PP when they meant Python Patrol, and I say PP and it sounds like something completely different. Yeah, you can say Lenny confirmed Classified 52 is Snake and Timber. You can absolutely say he confirmed that without saying a damn thing as well. Lots of people want Copperhead. Couchboy wants him and his water moccasin. Do you think we will get more figures on the main line, like 6 instead of 3, or will they keep it at 3 and the rest on deluxe versions and exclusives? I think you're probably going to see the same rollout for waves that they've always done, Super Saiyan. So I think that's what's going to happen going forward as well. It will be, like I said, like 3 main line and then 3 exclusives and then some other bits and pieces here and there. Yeah, deluxes and so on and so forth. Adam Drake, second best quote of the episode. I think they do, said Pat. So you said do, peep. I said PP, purple helmets, and some other stuff.
I don't even remember saying that one. Apparently I did.
Oh, mate, the internet never lies, apparently. Oh, Matt, of course. I didn't even get to read the rest of the comment. I just saw you are such an amazing Joe ambassador. And we love all you do. So obviously that's going to go up on the screen. Now that my comment is posted, how about a classified Tomahawk? You're a genius, Matt. You're an absolute bloody genius. Not just for getting your comment on the screen, but also for, dropping the classified Tomahawk chat. I had this conversation with myself and the other people in the chat on a Newsburst Live. Pat, how awesome would a classified Tomahawk / Eaglehawk be? Like, how awesome would that thing be?
That would be huge. And if we're going to go that huge, why not have it be able to drop out the classified vamp from the back of it? Just make it gigantic.
Now you're being silly, but I like it. I reckon that I did say actually on the stream, I said the RAM. Yeah, I said the RAM would be great as to fit in the back. But then also you could do it like a HasLab, right? And the stretch goal would be like Lifeline. It would be one of the stretch goals with all of his like accessories. And those accessories interact with the Tomahawk, like the stretchers clip onto the side of the interior. All of his like medical equipment goes into like sections on the interior and like shelving units and stuff like that with like webbing on it to obviously stop everything from flying out. And I was just thinking, like, how cool would it be to have closing doors on the side that could slide open?
Yeah, for sure.
Or that webbing that you see sometimes where they put the kind of like netting in on the interior of the door so that, things don't fall out. Yeah.
Because the Tomahawk is pretty much designed so those seats be removed so that it's somewhat modular so that you can put other things in there. So why not have different doors or no doors?
Honestly, how awesome would that thing be? Removable panels for the access to the engines and stuff like that. It would be
so big though. Like what would the... I think Lenny talked about making a cardboard cutout of how much space it would take to make some of the classified vehicles. So they're definitely thinking about it, but that would be large.
It would be large, and I would be there for it all day long. I think an Eaglehawk / Tomahawk would be a really good iconic one to do as well at that scale.
There isn't a lot of space in it that is wasted. Because you're placing a figure almost, you could place a figure for almost every square inch of the vehicle. So yeah, I could kind of see it working.
And also, obviously, lift ticket would come with it, so that would be one.
Yeah.
Like I said, lifeline could be a stretch goal, and I think that would be a great way to do lifeline. And then you could get him in the Tiger Force repaint as well. There's so many great things they could do with that as well, like, and loads of cute, more like additions to the actual vehicle too. And obviously, the winch at the bottom, you could have like, you know, again, you could utilize that webbing on that netting for like carrying you know, things with the winch. And also you could have little kind of crates that come with it as like to carry as well, like weapons crates and things like that. It'd be amazing.
Well, I would kind of want them to figure out the size of a vamp so that they could have like a platform that would come with to at least, you know, haul a vamp.
That would be so cool. Yes, absolutely. Maybe a vamp would be a stretch goal. Now it's getting out of hand. What else we got going on? Baumer says, this is quite interesting. You might be able to harden the card backs or lockers with acrylic varnish. Interesting thought there. I've never even thought to do something like that. But that is a very good option, Baumer, and maybe we could try a little test of that when we get one of those, when multiples come in. Couchboy says, hope classified windowless packs are thicker than the thin box with Mego. $2 for cheap, thin bend, easy, thin cardboard. Yeah, I do like my Mego set. I'll talk about it later on. But I know what you're saying about the thin aspect of the card.
Yeah, I'm just looking around to see if I have any of my new Transformers, because those packaging, it's pretty thin there too.
David says, who was the character and number? Because I couldn't make it out. It was 52 Snake Eyes and Timber. Just to say it out loud, I might as well. It's been written on the screen for so long. David Allen says there's been a concerted effort for the Transformers 86 animated film by Hasbro, so I believe that the future Walmart theme line could be the 87 G.I. Joe animated film. Possible. I do feel like they did mention, though, that it's in one of the interviews, it was actually said out loud that they're looking to maybe do a theme for, like a sub-team theme for Walmart after the retro card backs, because obviously the changing of the packaging means there's no point doing retro card backs anymore. So I've got a feeling that we're going to be looking at something very similar to what Target get. Would you agree with that, Pat? Yeah,
I would think the same. But I mean, I also don't think that would be a bad theme for them to explore in the future. I mean, the Transformers Studio, that's like the Studio Series subline that they have going with Studio Series 86. So not really an exclusive theme, but yeah, I think that it could work. But that's almost like there's so much stuff in there that it'd be hard to get all of that out. Well, maybe not, because there's some things that are specific to the movie that they probably could do. But are we going to want to have, because you couldn't do that without having Globulus.
No way. They'll do Cobra La Citizen, and that's all they get out. They just do that one.
I think the thing that would be difficult there is it would require so much new tooling, and these exclusives just aren't going to do that. But a theme in general to explore at some point, yeah, I think that would be cool if they had like a subline with the G.I. Joe movie.
It'd be awesome. It's a great shout as well, David. I know your name's Pat, by the way. I was referring to David's comment.
Right.
I'm start calling you different names now, Pat. Rich says, I love Classified, but I'm hoping for more O-ring reveals in June, more than just Duke and CC. I think you can concur with that, can't you, Pat?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think that my biggest problem so far with the O-ring line is the pacing. It's going to be a shame that a lot of them just aren't going to make it into bubbled package, because they haven't had them in the pipeline already prior to that change.
Yeah, it is a shame. This is another good shout from Viper Scout. Eagle Hawk would be over 3 feet long and over 1 foot high. And like I said, Viper Scout, I would be there for it. Neil Hill says, Vamp is the most logical low-hanging fruit classified vehicle. Not his tank? Not the sexiest choice, but makes the most sense from a price point and use perspective. I'd agree on that one then, because what Neil's saying, because the Vamp is slightly smaller in stature than the Hiss tank, isn't it? The Hiss tank's a bit bigger.
I don't know. They're roughly the same size, isn't it? I mean, the Vamp sits up higher.
Well, the Hiss tank's taller.
That's what I meant. The Hiss tank sits up higher. I got it backwards, but yeah, it's
Your Vamp's like this.
No,
You're talking about this Hiss tank compared to the actual Vamp, aren't you?
Right. I mean, yeah, the Hiss sits up higher, but I don't know that the price point of the vehicle would be much different, right?
Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, they were in similar sized boxes when they originally were released.
That's a good point. It's a good point. I think Vamp would be easier to do. I think the Hiss tank would be, if you wanted to do the Hiss tank at classified level scale, I'd want a lot of new things in it. I'd want a lot of new stuff in it.
It's got to have working treads.
Yeah, working treads. It's got to have two-person cockpit. It's got to have, like, it can have one turret, that's fine. But if it has multiple, then that's great. And I think it should also kind of mix in a little bit of troop carrying as well. I don't think it should just be like literally a scaled up Hiss tank, because I just don't think it's worth doing. If it's scaled up, then it has to have a lot of very cool additional sexy aspects to it, I think, personally.
See, I would think that it would be mostly just scaled up, and that there'd be a lot of like maybe bombs coming out the back as were originally planned. Maybe a panel for repairs, which is something that's absent from the Hiss tank, strangely.
Yeah. Well, right. Well, we kind of got to the end of this particular news segment and the news itself as well. Let's quickly move into or transition into, Pat, shout-outs. But beforehand, we'll just have a little word from our sponsor.
Hey there guys, just wanted to let you know about an app that I've been helping to develop for a few years now called HOARDAR. But what is HOARDAR, I hear you scream? Well, a number of years ago I discussed a project with a good friend of mine and now co-owner/developer about an app that could help collectors of all shapes and sizes. I'm talking about the shapes and sizes of the collections really, but also people. The app would be a place where you could share your new items, build collections and sub-collections, or just browse the feed to see cool things. Well, we made it. We tested it for a number of years, and now it's out there for you to enjoy on iOS or Android devices. You can upload a single item at a time at your own pace and slowly build your collections. You can post status updates that could be related to your collections, like getting a delivery or posting a scene in which you can tag items in that image if you've uploaded them in the past. You can add tags to your items in order to easily search for and find them, and of course to add them into your respective collections. You can like posts, comment on them, or start a conversation with a fellow collector, directly message users you follow, and even add items you see on your feed to your want list. If you prefer to use your computer or laptop, have no fear, you can use the website browser version and even utilise the awesome inventory option, allowing any user to change certain details, add notes, upload bulk items from spreadsheet files, and download a CSV of your entire itemised collection. We made this app for collectors, and we hope that you enjoy using it as much as we enjoyed creating it. Now get to hoarding.
Shout outs. Okay, Pat, you're first. Unfortunately, we do have to kind of rinse through this at some sort of pace, and I'll explain why when I get to some of my shout outs. But who's first for you, my man?
I just have Philip this week.
And
shout out, as always, to Philip.
Didn't you have another one to talk about as well?
Oh, I do. Yeah, you're right.
Hi, Philip. Shout out to Phil. But then also, I believe...
yeah, Mission Critical is on Kickstarter, and I think that prior to us being on here next week, this Kickstarter is going to come to a close. It looks like it's already funded, so at this point, it's well funded. At this point, it's just a matter of you getting in there and getting a good deal and getting the Snake Eyes exclusive. Really is what it amounts to.
They are $130,162 over their pledged goal.
Yeah.
So they are comfortable. And it's funny how these games, they do so well, don't they? The kind of like game Kickstarters, they have such like a huge following.
Yeah, but I think that, and I think that some of those exclusives you may be able to find elsewhere, because the retailer thing, which at first I saw that and I was like, wait a minute, the retailers are getting the same thing, like in quantities of 4 for only a few bucks more, but that's a down payment. Like they still will owe the rest of it later.
Yeah.
But the exclusives are listed in their listing. So I think if you're lucky, you could get some of the exclusives from like a game shop, but you're not going to be getting them for cheap. I would imagine that Snake Eyes is going to be for sale at a pretty decent markup. Definitely. If you go that route. So
get in now if you're going to get in. 5 days left on that one. And also they did post Bomb Strike and Major Blood last week. I was showing their reveals from last week, and these are 2 new ones for this week. Again, all the different cards and art and figurines for both of these characters, which is really, really cool. Love that Major Blood. He looks amazing. Bomb Strike looks cool too, but I can't make out a lot of the details because of the color they used.
Yeah.
But they both look awesome, so I'm excited for those. Right then, cool. Big shout out to the family, my wife Kate and the lovely little Phoebes. We've actually got the in-laws are coming. Kent and Valley Kirkwood are coming. They're in today, and I've got to finish this now in the next 3 minutes, and we've got to go and pick them up from the airport. So that's why I need to rapidly get through this shout out. So I'm sorry, Pat, and I'm sorry everyone watching. We'll make up for it next week, and we'll stay on for 3 hours, and Pat can be late for work.
I actually need to get going earlier today, too, so it works out for me.
Perfect. Okay, shout out to Brian Sauer then, and for the awesome graphics, as always. Thank you very much, Brian. We really appreciate all the great work you do for this channel. You're a star. Migo, shout out to Frank Wojo and Migo for sending me this gorgeous set, Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. Set. It's really cute. It's so nice in hand, actually. It's got. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a proper like review video of it, like a actual, proper get in there and have a proper butchers in there, do a proper video for them and to say thank you. But I just wanted to say thanks. It came in yesterday. Massive thank you, Frank, and to all of the guys at Migo for that lovely stuff. And Mum says, my shout out to Kent and Valley. So envious. Have a great time, you guys. Yeah, I'm seeing the American mum and dad. I'll have to see my UK mum and dad later. But yeah, we'll call you when they'll come in, Mum, and we'll have a big Zoom session. Anyway, next, Robo Skull Mark II. The backer kit came to a close on the weekend. Was it last? When was it? It was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Man, has it been a week already?
Yeah.
It was in the week. It was at some point.
I'm not sure. It's been a while since it's been a little while.
Yeah, it's been like 7 days. So yeah, it was last weekend. Congratulations to the incredible campaign, to Ben, to Mark, to everyone involved. They raised over $900,000 of your. What did I described it as something really funny, and I'm going to say it now because it's worth it. Ended up collecting over $900,000 of all your blood-soaked flying death skull with lasers money. Yeah, that's much better. I should have read that in the first place. Anyway, big shout out to everyone involved. It's absolutely incredible result, and cannot wait to get that in hand. Where are the toys, by the way, guys? Shouldn't they be here by now? Lols. They also revealed. I think, did I put it in here? I didn't. I won't say they also revealed because I haven't put it in the slideshow. Shout out then to Dan Klingensmith Jr. for creating G.I. Joe Volume 8. Like I said before, like last week, that is still open. It's in the home stretch now. I think there's only like hours left. So make sure you pledge, get your pledges in soon. It's already successfully funded. So congratulations to Dan. And obviously, yeah, let's keep going on that one. And while we're on the subject of amazing Kickstarters, Total Action Force Volume 2 successfully funded. We got some more beautiful prints they revealed exclusively for the Full Force. The last print, which is this beautiful Sky Striker Dio shot that takes obviously from the issue 29 of Action Force Weekly. So absolutely gorgeous. But then also, how good is this poster? This is the A2 poster that you're going to get, guys, and it's Cobra Commander in his battle armor. Good timing as well with Super 7's version 3. I know it might not be it might not be that one, but we'll see. Absolutely beautiful shot. I love this so much. So that's everything you're going to get at the Thunder Machine level with prints and poster. Absolutely gorgeous stuff. And there's the Thunder Machine reward level as well, guys. Really, really excited to get that in hand. And finally, that's it. But I do have a few more things I need to shout out. People. A couple of shout outs to special patrons, listeners, and viewers, etc. Adam Drake, who's been commenting all the way through here, celebrated the birth of his gorgeous baby boy, George, a few days ago. So, buddy, massive congratulations to you and the family. Good luck with everything, mate. I'm really, really excited for you. On top of that, massive shout out to Ritz Murphy, who I did give a shout out earlier, but for obviously giving us the heads up on the Super 7 listings in the week. And to X Factors 17 for helping me out with something else that will hopefully happen very soon. And that's all I can say about that for now. But thank you very much, X Factor 17. That brings us to the end. Bud, thank you so much for jumping on, Pat. Really appreciate it.
Thanks again for having me on. It's always fun.
Sorry for the rush at the end, but you know how it is. Thanks to everyone for commenting. Really appreciate all the comments, guys. Next week, we will make up for it, and I will answer every question that comes up and get every comment on the screen. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. What do we do at the end of all these episodes, Pat? After 3, 1, 2, 3. Full force. Perfect.
Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter @TheFullForce, liking the Facebook page facebook.com/TheFullForce, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/TheFullForce podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.